Three. Hello, everyone. Here we go again in the spotlight. It's been a minute. You probably thought I gave up on this show, but no, I'm back. And this time we have Mike Foster. And I believe Mike told me that you are in Japan.
I am Jamie. I'm from the UK originally, but I've been in Japan way too long, about 25 years, something like that.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we are
I'm
like
in Osaka.
12 or 13 hours apart.
We are. You're on the coffee. I'm on the beer.
Yeah, totally different. And then when I'm on the beer, you'll be on the coffee, hungover. Our hangover to drunk ratio is opposite.
Uh,
So yeah, and I almost forgot he had to remind me we were supposed to do this at 8:30 in the morning my time.
yeah,
Now I'm a half hour late, but I'm here.
that's all right.
I got it all set up.
I'm here. I'm here too.
So
I got
Mike,
a stack of records to show. Hopefully
oh
not too many.
yeah, this is your
Uh, uh,
show. You're in the spotlight, not me. So show everyone what you got, what you want to show off.
all right, Jamie. Thanks a lot. So before I get going, I just want to say I have a YouTube channel too. It's called Analog Attack. And it's
Okay.
been dormant for about a year. I haven't done anything. But the last thing I did, we did a 16 episode series on Iron Maiden. We went through every single studio album.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Each
was a lot of
studio
work. And
album
we did
got
a
its own
ranking.
show.
Oh yeah, an hour each. But the reason I'm telling you this because I did that show with Chris Corey from this band, Magic Circle. And I want to just sort of introduce this band to everyone because I think they're one of the best like current doom bands around.
Where are
I
they
love this
from?
band. They're from the Boston area.
Oh, okay.
And they're a great band, but unfortunately they've broken up now. They've got 3 albums. This one is from 2015. It's their second album. Great
Okay.
band. No stoner, just kind of traditional doom with a lot of 70s touches in it. But the good news is, Jamie, that Brendan, the singer, is now in this band,
Ah,
Summerland. So
I have that
you know,
album. I just bought it.
yeah, yeah, and it's great, and it's great to hear his voice in his band because he's such a great singer.
Yeah, the first
Uh,
singer they had sounded a little bit like Ozzy.
yeah, I mean Brendan has that in him a little bit too, but I think he brings a lot to this band, so I'm kind of excited. I'm sad that Magic Circle is gone, but this is a great record,
Right.
I think.
And I can't believe there
Yeah,
was 6 years between each album because the first Summerland
that's right.
doesn't
That's
feel
right.
that long ago.
It doesn't. Time flies when you.
Yeah.
So anyway, going back to Iron Maiden. So I want to take us back to like 1981. So the first band I ever saw was Iron Maiden. February 1981. I was 13 years old. And I want to show a couple of records that nobody really talks about too much when we go back to that kind of early era of Iron Maiden. A couple of live EPs. This one's kind of well known. Made in Japan.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-track EP recorded in Nagoya
That's
in
being
May
that's just
19.
begging to be released on a bigger, like the full set, or because I know it's out there. I've downloaded the whole thing.
Well, the gig that I went to, which is in February of that year, the whole thing is on YouTube. Like the whole thing. This is like in some tiny club in England in 1981. The whole thing's on there.
Get off my well.
But yeah, I mean, people pretty much familiar with this thing. But I think there's another one that came out, and I think this is like the last ever recordings of Paul Di'Anno.
Okay, nice.
And this is called Live Plus One. It's like 3 live tracks and then women in uniform in the studio. But this only came out in Japan and Greece, I believe, like back in the day.
Yeah, I've never
Kind of
seen that.
weird. Kind of weird. I think it's been like reissued since then, but back in the day it was just Japan and Greece only.
Okay.
But yeah, this one and that one definitely needs some kind of full reissue treatment, I think, because we know like the full sets are out there, right? So it would be cool.
Well, Beasts Over Hammersmith is finally getting released.
Is it really?
With the anniversary release of I guess it's the 40th anniversary of Number of the Beast.
Right.
It's going to
Cool.
be in with that, like a 3-record
Beautiful.
set or something. That's what I heard.
Nice. I'd like to see some full triple LP sets of those early Paul Di'Anno sets because that's my favorite era. But on that day, there was another band that played, and they were just as good as Iron Maiden. I'd never heard them before until that day, and they're a French band called Trust. You know this band, Jamie?
I do not.
Imagine like an AC/DC with obviously they're French, so very strong like French accent, like socialist lyrics. Great band. They supported Iron Maiden on that day.
Like a by the numbers hard rock band like AC/DC?
Pretty much, but really good, really dynamic, really energetic. They blew me away when I saw them that day. And
okay,
this is their second LP. It's called Repression. I have 4 different versions of this record.
Wow, that means you like it.
Of course I do. Of course,
right.
This is like the what we got here. This is like the French pressing, French language version of this record. All right. Then we have the French pressing, different cover, English language version.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, and then we also have. Yeah, and then we have different cover again,
Yeah.
the UK pressing English language version. I kind of like this cover with the live shot. And then there's one more, which is the Japanese pressing, which is basically the same as the English pressing with the English vocals. But
do you think the 15-year-old version of ourselves would look at the adult version of ourselves 30 years later, 40 years later, and go, why are you buying so many versions of the same album?
Well, I didn't even own this record until like 15 years ago. I didn't buy it back in the day. I saw them live, loved them. I could never find the records, but now I have them all. But my French friends said, the only version you need is the French language version. That's the only one you need. But I like them all.
You need them all.
Need them all.
If you like it.
So that era, 81, growing up in England, I used to listen to a radio show called The Friday Rock Show, DJ called BBC Radio. We used to listen to that, and that was where I heard so many bands for the first time. And there's actually some records that came out. It's all like new wave of British heavy metal. This is one of them. But it's all like from The Friday Rock Show, from the BBC. Okay. So all these tracks are just exclusive to this record. They're not on any of the bands that watched. Diamond Head, pretty well known, I guess. Sweet Savage. But yeah, these were all recorded in the BBC studios and played as like sessions on the Friday Rock Show.
I never heard of Spider.
Spider, okay, imagine like a really dumbed down version of Status Quo. That's what Spider sounds like. It's just like mindless, like boogie.
And is that Zero with an X?
Zero with an X, Demon, who are kind of well known, I guess.
I know
Black
Demon.
Axe, Witchfind, kind of like second, third tier band from this era.
Okay.
Had a bunch of records out. So yeah, I loved this show when I was a kid, so it's great to find like these records.
Right.
There's another one. This one has Samson on it with Bruce Dickinson, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, Samson. Praying Man, Gillan. His band from this time was crazy, like a kind of punked up Deep Purple kind of thing.
Yeah.
At this time, yeah. So yeah. Oh, Angel Witch is on this too. So there you go.
That's cool.
This is a Japanese thing, Japanese release too. So.
Yep. Need that Obi strip.
Yeah, got to have the Obi, Jamie. I tell you, if the record, the value doubles or triples or quadruples if it just has this.
I won't buy one unless it has it.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd stick with the compilations from that era that were really important, because really, like, the new wave of British heavy metal was more like about singles and compilation albums. There's a whole bunch of
those comp albums is what got a lot of us into metal and discovering bands like that. Oh, I like that one song. Let me go buy the album now.
They were so important, especially, I didn't have much money.
Yeah.
I buy this comp. It's got 12 bands on it,
Yeah.
Really good value. So, yeah. So this is one of the big ones, actually, from that time. This is the Metal for Mothers compilation. And I think this is the first appearance of Iron Maiden on vinyl. And it's got versions of Sanctuary and Rothschild, which are different versions from the LP or the singles.
From 1979 or early 80?
It's really, really early 80, I believe. Okay. So, yeah. And they're the only band that gets 2 songs. So
even back then,
people already knew that they were kind of a cut above, a lot of the other bands.
The Roundhouse tapes were making their rounds.
Oh yeah. This has got Angel Witch on it too, and Samson again. So yeah, with Bruce Dickinson. So This was a big one back in the day for us. This record. Now we're going to go a bit obscure. There's no Iron Maidens or no Samsons on these records. Okay. We're going deep. Okay, so this is
I'll hold my breath.
Look at this. Oh, come on. Look at that. You can't beat that. You know, Heavy Metal Heroes, Heavy Metal Records, Volume 1. I know, man. Oh, Grim Reaper on this. They're probably the biggest band.
So primitive looking.
I love primitive, you know. And it's the logo on the back.
What are some of the bands on there?
Okay, I'll read them out. Twisted Ace, Witchfinder General.
We know that one.
Yep, right. Dragster. The Handsome Beasts, who I love. Split Beaver. What a name for a band. Split Beaver. Exposer.
No.
Buffalo. Bitches Sin. Jaguar, Grim Reaper, Soldier, and Metal Mirror.
Oh man! and those are you enjoy the music and everything.
I do. I love this kind of really raw, like primitive. You know, like
is the music as raw and as primitive as the album cover?
Absolutely. I just love this stuff. You know, maybe like one single, one compilation track. You know,
right?
This era. Love it. I got a couple of more. This is a kind of a compilation of a compilation. So it's like a Heavy Metal Records thing with the best of the tracks from all the compilations they put out. So it's just called pretty straightforward, self-explanatory title.
And that N and the W kind of looks like the N and the W from NWA. From memory.
It predates it though.
Maybe if I look at it, I would be like totally wrong. But from memory, it kind of does.
It does kind of, yeah. It's got the same Split Beaver again. Persian Risk, which what's his name from Motorhead, the guitarist
from Motorhead.
Yeah, the name just escaped me.
Fast Eddie Clark.
No, the next guy.
Oh, you got me.
Phil Campbell.
Okay.
Phil Campbell was in Persian Risk, so they're on this record.
Okay.
And this is my favorite of the whole lot, and it's quite important. This is New Electric Warriors.
Okay.
I remember seeing this as a kid and just being like completely kind of confused. There's like so many bands in it. I'd never heard of any of them. But it turns out there's a band called Street Fighter on this record. And Street Fighter had John Sykes in the band.
Oh, okay.
So, and you can tell it's him. He just shreds over the track they have on this record.
Okay, cool.
It's no Whitesnake, let me tell you.
Right.
Street Fighter.
Some guys like John Sykes, they've been in so many bands that it seems like it's endless. There's always another one I hear about that they're in.
Oh yeah. So that was like the early 80s. They're really important compilations. And then the next one, this was an important record. Do you know this one, Jamie?
Speed Kills. Like a best of speed metal. It says it right on there.
It says the very best of speed metal. But the thing is, on this record is Metallica, Slayer, Celtic Frost.
They didn't know what to call it back then.
They didn't. So, it's just the very best of speed metal.
Yeah.
Megadeth are on it with Rattlesnake. But, the funny thing is, I have records by every one of these bands, that appeared on this compilation. Or multiple records.
When did the term thrash really become popular? I don't even know.
I don't know. I just remember when when speed metal came in, and then thrash came a little bit later, and then death. And it just got way too confusing.
Right.
But it's funny how Venom and Metallica are all just speed metal. There you go.
Right.
It's speed metal in it. And there's a funny comment. There's little comments about each band that they did, and the one from Metallica is hilarious. It says, "Fight fire with fire. The best track on Ride the Lightning. No commercial wimp out here." And this is like 1985. What had they done that was like, you know.
Right.
They only had 2 albums out at that time, so it's kind of weird that
And the
they were
commercial
already
Wimp Out would come later.
later, a little bit later, right? It's kind of strange that people were already thinking that, back in 1985. All right, Jim, I'm going to skip the 90s. I'm going to skip the 90s because I moved to Japan in about 1999. Sold my records, all of them. And the internet happened. Do you remember stonerrock.com by any chance?
No.
Around 1998, 1999, there's this website called stonerrock.com. You could go on there. They had all the news from the scene, and they had an MP3 section. You could download MP3s, very like low bit rate quality MP3s.
And what it was take great. About a half hour for a song
did or more. And I used to make mix CDs of the MP3s. It was just crazy.
There's a whole weekend's worth of work.
Oh, it was tough, but it was great. Just all this new music that was coming out then. And there's 2 bands from that era that were favorites then, and they're still favorites now. One of them is Goatsnake, who I love. It's Pete Starr, who was in Scream. This is an amazing record. This is their first record. It's kind of stoner doom. Okay. Pete Starr has an amazing voice. Really
I would have thought death metal, some form of death metal with the name.
Yeah, right.
Maybe because it sounds like Goat Whore to me a little bit.
Yeah. But this is a great record, and yeah, this band, Goatsnake, was a favorite from back then. As was this band, Unida.
Okay.
Which is John Garcia from Kios. Jim, you like The Cult, right?
Oh, yeah.
This kind of sounds like The Cult on steroids.
All right.
It's like super heavy, like not too many slow songs.
What year is that? Because that looks very 90s, that album cover.
It is. Well, this one and the Goatsnake both came out in 1999.
Okay.
And they both came out on Mandarin Records,
okay,
which was the big stoner rock label at that time. So, yeah, Unida and Goatsnake, I still have. And they kind of got signed to a major, Unida, American Records.
Okay.
They made a second record, but it never got released officially. But there's a bootleg of it, which looks like this.
Okay.
Yeah, they got dropped by American Records for whatever reason, so it never came out officially.
What's the record stores like over there in Japan?
Oh, how much time? How much time do we have?
Not a lot, but
right. There's a lot of them. I mean, I'm in Osaka, and there's like just a ton. Still, yeah.
When I buy a Japanese used record, when it makes its way over here in the States,
right,
and it could be 30 years old, it's always in near mint.
Well, we always kind of laugh at like Japanese near mint and American near mint. They're not the same.
Yeah. I don't know what they do over there with their records, but they take care of them.
Oh, they do. Until they come into my house, and then
they're like, "What are you doing?" Bunch of junk
so that was like yeah, so that was like really cool. Internet, all that kind of stoner rock that was coming out in the late 90s. But the other thing the internet was good for was kind of finding out about old bands that you'd never heard of, and I'm sure lots of people did this, like the classic like 70s bands. I think a lot of people did this, and a lot of bands that were, unknown, people started buying the records, and
right.
Atomic Rooster was kind of one of those bands for me.
Them and Bungie. I
Bungie,
went down a rabbit hole and discovered these kind of bands.
The thing is about like Atomic Rooster and Budgie, they were kind of well known in the UK. Like I kind of knew about Budgie and Atomic Rooster, but I'm showing this one because it's from 1980. It's a little bit later one. Mm-hmm. It's kind of different to the earlier stuff. It's more like new wavy, kind of punky. But I mean, look at that. It's great. This is one.
They almost got a little bit of R&B in their music as they went on.
And I think they were kind of influenced by the new wave of British heavy metal too. I think it's kind of got that vibe to it. It's heavier and faster. Yeah, so yeah, Atomic Rooster from 1980 is a good one. And here's a few that I kind of found in Osaka too. This one is Jerusalem. This has been reissued. Look at that. I mean, this is a heavy record. It's like 1972, but they were discovered by Ian Gillan from Deep Purple. He put this record out on Purple Records. He wrote the liner notes and everything for it. So
See, if I saw that in a record store and saw it came out in 1972, without listening to it, I'd probably buy it if it was less than,
You know what?
X amount of dollars.
That's what I did actually. This is one band I'd never heard of before, even on the internet. I just saw it in a record store. It was 1,000 yen, like $10. It was on Diram in England, which is great 70s, 60s record label. So it was a no-brainer, and it was like even better than I could ever imagine. But it's been reissued. You can get it like a recent pressing now. But
okay,
very raw sounding, doomy band.
Okay,
Cover cut. That was a good one. And then one I think everyone knows, which is one of my favorites, is the Captain Beyond.
Yep, I got the 3D cover of that.
You know what? That's one I do not have. I have. Okay,
I see it.
Japanese.
I see it at least
People
once a year out there in the wild.
Yeah. People say that it's not that hard to find, in the States, but I just have the Japanese ones. This is like the first pressing.
Next time I see it, I'll buy it and ship it to you.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Pay me back in yen.
Hang on. That's good for you now, right?
What's that?
The way the exchange rate is now, I'm trying to figure out, because the yen is really weak right now. I'm just
okay. Yeah, just Cash App it to me and let Cash App worry about it.
But I do have 4 pressings of it, though. 4 Japanese pressings.
Nice.
I guess that's the first one.
Okay, because that's what the 3D one looks like, but with it's just in the middle.
Yes. But they put all the expense into the obi and didn't bother with the
right. Well, you got an obi strip, so that adds to the factor.
And then you got the third one. It's kind of like getting a little bit more flimsy, but I like this cover the best actually, with the full picture on the front. And then there's another one as well, which is like that, which is the worst one I think of all of them. And it's getting cheaper and cheaper as we go.
Right,
this is an 80s one, I think. This is an 80s one. And this is a band that I had never heard of at all. Steel Mill.
Yeah. That's a dark looking album cover.
It's prog, but it's prog not as we know it. It's very, very heavy prog. This is like Rise Above Relics.
What year?
Rise Above. It's like early 70s. This is like this came out about 10 years ago, the reissue, I think. Steel Mill.
That's a reissue?
Yeah, Rise Above Relics.
That looks like something that would be very expensive original pressing version.
I think so. I think originally it was only released in Germany, I think, even though they're a British band. It was
like a Leaf Hound type thing.
Exactly, like a Leaf Hound type thing, Jamie. There you go.
That's a reissue.
This is the most recent reissue.
Yeah, I have the most recent reissue too.
Yeah, I had the Akama, Akama's kind of a semi-bootleg kind of a label, so I was kind of happy to get this official repertoire.
Now, original pressing of that will run you about $3,000.
Something like that, yeah, something like that. Crazy. Yeah, so that's some of the stuff that, the internet brought us. I would never have known about most of these bands if it wasn't for the internet. So.
All right, cool. That's everything.
No, I got one more little stack.
Okay.
Do we have time?
All right.
Do we have time?
Hey, we're not even at the warning yet. The Zoom.
Really? Oh, great. Okay, cool. I kind of plowed through everything. That's cool, though. Okay, Jimmy. So I just saw you did the witchcraft ranking. Halloween's coming up.
Yeah. So
I thought I'd show some other like witch bands.
Okay.
I've got a few. Let's have a look. This is a good one. Witch Mountain. Doom metal band from Portland, Oregon. Female vocals. Kind of in the blood ceremony, that kind of realm.
There are a lot of those bands out there.
I know, there's a lot of vocals. There are a lot of them.
So many.
It's hard to keep up. This band is great. They changed vocalists a couple of times, at least once. But this one is from 2015.
Okay.
Good band. Witch Mountain. There we go. This is great. I love this record. Australian band. Witch Skull.
Yeah. And all these bands either have witch or blood in their name.
They do. But this is great. I mean, this is on, again, Rise Above Records. I think Rise Above Records really puts out quality stuff all the time. And Australian band, kind of stoner doom, heavy but melodic, great vocalist. I recommend it to anyone who likes that kind of thing. Witch Sorrow, great band. Sorry, Witch Skull. Yeah. Witch Sorrow's coming up now. This is Witch Sorrow. Also on Rise Above Records. God Curse Us, which is their like second LP. This is kind of different. It's really no frills, really slow.
Okay.
Doom metal with no stoner in there at all. It's just straightforward doom metal. Pretty good band. They have like three albums out, I think. So, Witch Sorrow. Couple more. Witch Hazel. Another British band. They sound like Wishbone Ash. Yeah, this is their second album.
Okay.
Called Sojourn. It's not doom. It's not stoner. It kind of sounds like Wishbone Ash.
It looks like a Wishbone Ash,
doesn't it?
Cover.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like Argus, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Like one of the helpers.
You take the horse away.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got the twin guitar leads going on. Not very heavy, but really, really good band from England. And I thought we'd finish off with a bit of death metal, Jamie, if we have time. You like Witch Vomit?
I've heard of them. Because it's hard to, when you hear that name, it's hard to forget, even if you hear it for a second.
Yeah.
Witch Vomit.
Witch Vomit. Yeah, $20 Spin Records, I think.
All right, 10 minutes. There's the update, the warning.
Okay.
So I take it Witch Vomit's not very technical in their death metal.
Yeah, exactly right. Which is the kind of stuff that I like. You know, it's that very caveman, basic, no frills death metal, that's the kind of style
I do have one more. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Where is it? The White Snake, White Wolf, fucking Winger. I have one Winger CD. Someone told me. Oh, I forget the name of the band, but they're from the 70s. Oh, there it is.
Is it a witchy band?
White Witch.
Oh, I don't know that.
This is from I think they have 2 albums. This is from 74. Very man, I listened to it once. It's very proto-metal-ish, but very weird in a way. Barely metal, sometimes barely hard rock, but yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I think they have 2 albums. This might be their second one. And this is off of Capricorn Classics type thing. And I think they release a lot of weird I think Captain Beyond, they might have released their album.
They were. Captain Beyond were on Capricorn, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I'm done. You know, I told you, I messaged you, I've got so many records, Jamie. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go over time.
No, don't worry. We got 8 minutes to spare. If you just, I got to get back to work. Yeah, I'm doing this on the clock. Well, there you have it, everyone. It took a minute.
I had like 30 records. There you go.
Yeah, we flew through them real quick.
We did. Yeah, I was worried about the time, so I was like, let's keep it going.
I don't think on my little episodes of this, I don't think we'll ever get further away than Japan, unless someone does it from the moon.
You know what? I was going to have a little
section around them. It's floating by.
I was going to actually show some like Japanese records too. And I put them back. I put them away. And I thought, I've got way too many here. It's just going to be too much. So
next time we'll get to the Japanese records.
Yeah.
You can show me the whole Loudness discography.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's right down there.
All right. Well, it took a minute to do another episode of this, but we did it. And we'll do another. I don't know when. I don't know. We'll just figure it out. I'll figure it out as we go along. So, yeah, that was lots of fun. I'm glad we did that.
It was fast. Speed metal style.
Yeah, speed metal version of it all. So everyone, if you want to be a part of this, just let me know. Make a comment down below. Don't be shy. Chances are I'll say, yeah, let's do this in a few weeks or something. So that was a lot of fun, everyone.
Check out this band. There was a lot. Check them
What's
out.
that?
Check out these bands if you.
Oh yeah, check
stop the
these out
video,
on
go and
YouTube.
check them out.
I bet you a lot of those
No.
comps are on YouTube.
They are. They all are. In fact, I checked this morning. Actually, they're all on YouTube.
And then you'll discover all these bands that are 40, 45 years old, and maybe you'll.
I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to discover Split Beaver when they're 50 years old? Come on.
Right, and that would be a new band to you, even though it's 50 years old. So then you'll go down a rabbit hole and you'll be finding all kinds of shit. So,
Jamie, can I just mention my YouTube channel again?
Oh yeah, one more time.
I kind of sped through it. So
even though you haven't done anything for a year.
I haven't done anything for a year, but it's still there. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I had Barney from Napalm Death on like 3 times.
Okay.
And we just chatted for an hour about all sorts of things. And I had a bunch of guests, and there's some ranking videos and the whole Iron Maiden thing. So
well, maybe this will put a fire under your ass and you get
I hope so.
Running again.
And well, only if I get back to it and start making new videos. But this has given me a little bit of a fire actually doing this. Firing up the old Zoom again, and finding out that you could only have 30 minutes with 2 people now, which didn't happen before.
Unless you pay,
unless you pay
$20 a month or something. Which, no offense to everyone out there, I'm not going to pay that. And tell everyone to come and join our little club over here at Let's Get Physical, the Facebook page. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
It's so simple. You just show off your new things, your old things that you own, books, magazines, DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, vinyl, a lot of CDs, a lot of vinyl, a lot of box sets, movies that you're watching, movies that you just, not that you're watching on stream, but that you own physical copies of, like this. That's why it's called Let's Get Physical.
Yeah, it was cool. Like Steve Polari. He was on the other day, right? And he was showing off the Elephant Tree record, which I posted on your Facebook page. So it was a lot of people seem to like that record.
I downloaded it when it first came out. I never had a physical copy of it.
Right.
So I know the album. It's in my phone, the MP3, but I just never owned a physical copy of it. So even the guy who runs the page, Let's Get Physical, has some downloaded MP3 versions of albums. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you can't have everything, right?
So, all right, guys. Everyone out there, have a great day. Take care. I'm getting back to work. He's gonna get back to drinking.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.